Ever since the release of Star Wars: The Last Jedi by writer and director Rian Johnson and witnessing the death of Luke Skywalker, a lot of fans thought it was way too early for the Jedi Master to leave us. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one of the most iconic figures in the Star Wars franchise actually went into the netherworld of the Force after using the Force projection technique in Episode 8 against his nephew in order to buy enough time for the Resistance to leave the planet Crate in order to create a new rebellion by the time Episode 9 comes around at some point. So, looking at Star Wars as a whole here, a lot of people have been wondering exactly what will J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio be doing with the character of Luke in Episode 9. Now, the obvious thing, of course, is Force Ghost or flashbacks, right? And that's something that J.J. Abrams is just going to do flat out in Episode 9. Now, yes, J.J. Abrams has said before in the past to Mark Hamill that you're dead, get used to it all, and that's what Mark Hamill told us. However, there is still hope about Luke Skywalker coming back to life by applying certain canon pieces in Episode 9, and I want to look at the Worlds Between Worlds from Season 4 of Star Wars Rebels. Now, I know that a lot of you guys are familiar with the Worlds Between Worlds, and the reason as to why I believe that this could very well be applied to Episode 9 is because some of the concept art and storyboard descriptions that we have been going over, we have actually been hearing about these descriptions of certain environments that really do mimic that of the Worlds Between Worlds, specifically the ones involving Kylo Ren and Rey, witnessing the visions between those portals/windows and seeing moments of the past of Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, and other characters alike. With that being said, if you guys watch The World Between Worlds, you do witness the fact that Ezra Bridger saves Ahsoka Tano from Darth Vader during their lightsaber duel, and she actually does not get killed by Vader in that moment. So with that being said, they could absolutely apply the same exact concept here to Star Wars Episode 9, where, let's say, for example, Rey is able to go into the Worlds Between Worlds and witnesses the moment in time in which she sees Luke Skywalker using the Force projection technique, or is about to use that technique, pulls him through and saves him. As ridiculous and outlandish it may sound to some of you guys out there, this could most definitely work. And the reason as to why I think it is plausible is because, well, J.J. Abrams, Dave Filoni, they all talk with each other in order to keep the continuity in place, to keep things in line here. And if you guys read the EU as well, there's a lot of possibilities of really bringing back the character of Luke Skywalker in Episode 9 back to life. You know, I know that in one of the original scripts of Return of the Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi came back from the netherworld of the Force and became a solid figure, flesh and blood, not a Force ghost, transparent or blue hue. So with that being said, there are numerous things that you can do in order to bring Luke Skywalker back to life in Episode 9. Now, of course, they could always keep things simple that, well, let's say, for example, Luke Skywalker used the power of teleportation. Now, that is an ability that was explored very lightly in the EU by dark side users, though I believe they can only use it at like a short distance. For Luke to use it at a long distance would be a very interesting concept in Episode 9. After all, you know, we did not witness the metallic hand clank onto the rock, but in reality, that was a mistake by Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson and Mark Hamill actually caught that mistake once the movie was already finalized, and they were laughing about it. And that to me just shows that, you know, if you look at a lot of the creators of The Last Jedi, including Rian Johnson, there are a lot of details that should have actually gotten a whole lot more attention, such as Luke's metallic hand. Why would Luke's metallic hand actually go with him into the netherworld of the Force? It just doesn't make sense to me at all. So in order to really kind of make things make sense, they could actually, if they wanted to, in Episode 9, use that metallic hand mistake in The Last Jedi and use that as a way of bringing Luke Skywalker back and kind of like making that a little hint that he is actually still going to be alive in Star Wars Episode 9. This is something that I believe a lot of fans would love to see, and it would probably be one of the most epic returns in cinematic history apart from Jack Sparrow, apart from you know, Superman in Justice League and other characters alike. I mean, many characters in pop culture have died and actually came back to life before. Why can't Luke Skywalker, you know? So if you look at the character of Luke, I think that would be a great thing to do by either using the Worlds Between Worlds as an example, or just keeping it simple, that he teleported to Tatooine and he was able to essentially rematerialize and use that as an ability to come back to life. That to me would be the ultimate way to go. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about Luke coming back to life in Episode 9. Would it really make all sense to you guys? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea by JJ and Chris Terrio? We do know that they are going to be giving the fans a lot of surprises and revelations when it comes to the character of Luke, which may, just may, be that Luke comes back to life, at least maybe temporarily, where he's able to fight alongside both Rey and others in order to protect them from the First Order, to fight against Kylo Ren once more, where he's able to come back to life just for a short time and rematerialize before he goes back into the Netherworld. That, to me, I think would be Disney's vision of a more realistic route of bringing Luke back to life, where he's only able to live in the mortal world for a short amount of time. I could actually imagine that. But anyways, guys, I would love to hear your opinion below in the comments section. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.